We're back in the world of Cyberpunk 2077, and we're here on Xbox Series S. Be sure to like the video, subscribing is great as well. So this is a special, it's a small update, but a special one, as it adds the addition of FSR 2.1. Now, you might be wondering what that is, and that's kind of what we'll be focusing on and talking about for the Series S version of the game today. So, yeah, the 1.61 update is kind of just like a small little set of bug fixes, but for those, that are understanding a little bit more of the technical elements of, basically gaming and AI resolution upscaling, the addition of FSR 2.1 is a surprise and a very pleasant one, because it is going to aim to provide you with a clear visual picture quality, while at the same time making sure that you keep the frames or generally your performance up at the same time. And I think that is fantastic. That is weird. Why is it doing that? Maybe that's the effect or something. Maybe it's supposed to be like that. Those look odd. Anyways, so what do we have on the Series S? Well, we've got two different options. We're playing on the performance mode at the moment, which I thought was a great addition that we finally got not too long ago. And then the second one is the quality mode. So the game has two options. Performance mode is 60 FPS up to 1080p, and quality mode is 30 FPS up to 1440p. So there's no ray tracing or anything like that applied on the Series S. So keep that in mind if you are expecting that sort of thing. Even on Series X or PS5, it's just like ray trace shadows, so you're not losing out on crazy special effects or anything like that, but it is an effect. You'll notice instantly going up to the kind of resolution or quality mode that the crowd density increases a lot. It definitely seems like the Series S has to sacrifice quite a bit in terms of crowd density and environmental, I guess, quality in order to achieve that. I still don't think it's necessarily like perfect as to say on the Series S in regards to this update, but this is a very nice improvement for the particular platform, I think, in regards to keeping the quality going. I'm definitely noticing a bit more shimmering so basically what I've noticed when I check out, because this is AMD solution, I always compare it to DLSS, too many S's, but that's NVIDIA's technology, so we're on AMD based consoles, so you get their version of it, which is the FSR, Super Fidelity, and it is something that has been, it's newer, it's a work in progress still. But what I notice, and I don't know if others notice this as well, or if it comes across on YouTube, but on like reflections or water, I notice that there's like a bit of a fuzz or a sort of like muddled kind of texturing. Same with environmental textures, you're going to notice some fuzz and stuff like that. And that's the, technology upscaling kind of really pushing it, if that makes sense. You will notice, and I believe this is the case, an increase in the clarity of your environment and the worlds and the characters and everything like that. You'll notice an improvement. You should notice an improvement in performance and whatnot as well. Like, I think performance mode on Series S is actually not at too bad of a place, personally. But yeah, the biggest thing that I think you're going to get is a game where it's not as limited by hardware, because we've got the software going on. And as I've been saying a few times through, I am genuinely surprised that they actually took the time to put this in. Because, this is an older title, and FSR 2.1 is like, it's new, essentially. Like, it's not new, but, this iteration of it is definitely the, most recent updated sort of thing at the time of doing this. And it's very, very interesting. Like, I still think, Series S-wise, I'm used to Series X, and it's a bit fuzzier and whatnot. But I do feel that you are getting a better experience. Oh, come on! Playing it in this way, experiencing the game. We'll do driving later. I just wanted to drive over to this mission thing anyways. But I think you're going to get a better experience now. So if you've been waiting to play the game for whatever reason, honestly, it was fine even in the last update. Getting 60 FPS on the Series S made this completely, in my opinion, fine to go. Same with the fact that they've, fixed so many problems and things like that over time. It's in a good state. It's worth checking out if you've been curious about it. I highly recommend Cyberpunk. I think it's got a great story. We've got an exciting expansion coming out next year, which I'm actually really curious to see how that one is maybe going to push the Series S in interesting ways. Because I think this, honestly, is pretty tech-pushing for the Series S itself. And I'd say it actually maybe a little bit punches above its weight class in this particular setting. I mean, it's not as sharp as I'm used to, but I think you're going to get closer to those actual targets and closer to that performance. But you're also going to notice a little bit more, maybe not, it depends on the person to person. For me, I'm noticing a little bit more of what I believe really is that technology at play kind of doing its work. Because the idea, again, is to take stress off of the hardware and put that stress more into a software type of solution, which I believe as time goes on, we are only going to see better and better effects of this, kind of technology in action. And it makes me kind of wonder if we're going to see maybe future iterations being applied to this game over time. Because I sort of, again, if you've seen my other Cyberpunk looks at this game, I just assumed they were going to kind of move on with the whole engine change and then working on the future of Cyberpunk. Somewhere else, I kind of figured that they would be slowing down on things, getting that expansion out, but that we wouldn't be, wildly seeing the game itself change over time. And it's sort of a nice, pleasant surprise that it's not the case, that they actually are still working on things. How do I have so many new things to do? I could have sworn I did most of this, did I not? Wow. I literally feel like I did most of these cases and stuff. I don't know. Anyways, always something nice to do in the world of Cyberpunk. But I really do love this game, and I think it's really, really cool. As I always say, it's the Cyberpunk game of my dreams. I always wanted a Cyberpunk world like this in a video game that you could explore and see. And it kind of a little bit, from like a visual standpoint, it's kind of beyond, my expectations of like the scale and everything like that. And this huge, huge, beautiful, realized world that you can kind of seamlessly go through. It's kind of incredible from that perspective. But
Obviously, if you were around at launch, there were problems, and then if you're around for the next gen update, if you're on Series S, you're probably like, well, I wanted, 60 FPS. And, they delivered that last time for this game. And I think, honestly, this is a pretty good way to play it. I mean, we switched back to the quality mode because I want to, show that off. But if you think about it, you're not really giving up a whole lot of resolution from a Series S standpoint to get that 60 FPS, right? That's kind of my big comment on it, because it's literally like what 1440 threshold down to 1080p, and you get double the frames. It just seems like a very logical thing for me. And I mean, obviously both are dynamic and they adjust as they need to, but you'll see, I think, a little bit less of adjustments because of this update. Or at least I'm not noticing as extreme fluctuations in regards to, the resolution quality of the world. If that makes sense. I hope that's kind of coming across in what we're showcasing today. Because, I don't necessarily have, like, insane levels of playing this on the Series S as somebody that, like, primarily plays this on the Series S would. But I've definitely been, taking a look at this one. It's been something of coverage interest, obviously, because, it's the Series S, and Cyberpunk is a big deal. And I love covering Cyberpunk, because I think it's a lot of fun for me to dive in here and take a look at this game. So it's just nice to continue to have, kind of excuses to dive in and showcase what this has to offer. Let's go and let's do something, I don't know, let's go down this way so we can do a bit of a drive through the city. And let's bring out, should we do the Porsche? Yeah, let's do the Porsche again. Just to kind of show it off in action. But I mean, I think that this game is personally in a good state. There always seems to be like a bug thing. I don't know if it'll pop up at some point or whatever in the video, but there always seems to be some kind of like, notice how the traffic and everything gets adjusted immediately. It's very, very interesting. But, there's always some kind of like bug or something that flares up while I'm doing a video on it. on the game, and I'm just like, come on! This is crazy. Why are you doing this to me, Cyberpunk? I'm trying to show you off, and yeah. I always just get such humor out of that, the fact that it's like... literally, oh, no, guys, it's really, really good state, you know? It's always good, it's great, most of the bugs, everything like that, and then something just hilarious happens, and I'm like, well, it's not a big issue, but yeah, it is kind of funny that that sort of thing takes place. But I think, and I honestly don't know how much it fully shows up when you're watching this video as opposed to seeing it on a big TV. That's the thing. Like, I can really see, like, there's a bit of shimmer, and you can really see that this is, you know, it's using a scaling technology. It's deploying it, and, you know, that's going to be present depending on your screen size. If you're used to Series S play, though, I think you're going to be like, oh, it looks better. I really do feel that that's going to be the case. You're just going to be like, oh, it looks a lot better to play. And that is beneficial to those, you know, that want to experience Cyberpunk on this console platform, to have an experience that looks better and keeps your performance and whatnot going a lot smoother. I think that is, personally, to me, important when it comes to this type of game. If you are unfamiliar with Cyberpunk, I love to talk a little bit about it each time as well, even though this is a bit more like, hey, we're looking at how the game is running and looking. You know, Cyberpunk, lengthy story, got your pal Keanu in there, you know, you're exploring this crazy decaying mind of yours, everything goes wrong, and you're stuck with, you know, dealing with the city. It's a lengthy main story, there's lots of, you know, side missions, side activities, side gigs you can take part in, romance lines, crazy combat. There's a big expansion coming out next year, hopefully. They deliver on that one. And, yeah, it's just kind of a cool, neat RPG, where you make choices, you create your character, you play your way, and I think that's kind of neat, too. It doesn't have, like, crazy branching story stuff, but you do make choices. You do impact what happens. You know, the day-night cycles. There's different areas of town you can go to. There's different, like, trials and problems and things you got to deal with and do, and characters you meet, and wild events that happen. And some of the side stories are, like, full lengthy, meaty stories that you can do. We're just doing, like, quick gigs where you take out people and stuff. But there is a lot to like in this game. There's a lot to enjoy. There's a lot to play. If you've held back, like I've said, you know, I don't think there's really ever been a better time to jump into it. You can usually get a pretty good deal with it, and then dive in here, and you'll just be, I think for the most part, quite pleased with it. Have a lot of fun with it. I think even the general word of mouth is improving too on this one a lot, which I think is awesome because, you know, I've always kind of enjoyed the concept of this game. So it does please me greatly that other people are, you know, kind of seeing that kind of potential value and stuff that I saw when the game was first available, when the game kept getting improved. I think that's just awesome. What are these guys doing? You guys just work? Oh, they're just workers working out. I was like, I thought this guy was like being held hostage or something. Looks like we got a bit of a sandstorm or something going on at the moment. It's, yeah, very, very low visibility, toxic fumes. That's the magic of a cyberpunk world, you know. Everything's clean, sad, and depressing. Because again, cyberpunk, if you're not familiar with the genre, it's like, it's dystopian. It's not supposed to be like sunshine and rainbows. It's a lot of death. A lot of death. But it's got lots of fun, quirky moments. Go to Red Stash. Is that in this? Oh, that is in this area. Okay. I don't know. There's always weird, quirky adventures to have in this one. I'm actually looking forward to hopefully getting a little bit more streaming out of it. My biggest worry is actually just kind of running out of content because I've done so many videos and stuff on it over time. I don't know if you've been, you know, keeping track, but doing Series X, Series S, PS5, I've been, you know, getting my fair share of time with it. I started my adventure on Stadia. You know, I've done multiple plays of it. I was actually thinking of doing like another play, just to, you know, just have something more I can do with it, because I just enjoy diving in here so much. I don't know if I've ever been in this building before. I am genuinely kind of like surprised by this. Worn graffiti helmet. Huh. Those are some intense boots. Oh, that's like the cover jacket stuff. That's kind of even better than what I have. Advanced Raymond boots, 190. 191. Ultimate punch field generating jacket. Increases mitigation strength. Oh, that's actually some good kind of stuff you get here. Kind of want to go with the title jacket, but this other stuff is like slightly better. Which is kind of funny. I mean, I don't really care at the end of the day. It's just like you don't see it because you're first person, but yeah, fine. Let's go with that. No, apparently I have a lot of clothing stuff, which is hilarious. I should actually take some time to deal with that. Wait a sec. Why do I have this jacket on? Is it because, oh, it's got the samurai thing going on. That makes sense. Where's the new thing I bought? Do I have a lot of better stuff than what I have on? I really don't take any time doing this kind of stuff. I can't even see what I've purchased, really. Let's see. It was like... It wasn't that one because it's weaker. I might as well disassemble that. I think it was this. There we go. Ready for the nightlife, what can I say? But yeah, you make your own character, your own V, you go and you do stuff. I got totally distracted though, because like... Can I get a... Huh. Yeah, I've never been to this spot before, I've never seen this. It's weird, because like I keep playing and playing and playing this game. I've got like 40, 50 something hours on the save. And it's like, I'm still finding new things. It's incredible. I love when you get RPGs like that, where you genuinely want to explore the world. And then later on you come across a place and you're like, huh. But I also say again, as I was going over earlier, I think character models and stuff actually really do benefit from this technology as well. Some of the backdrop stuff, you know, it's doing its best to kind of make things work. But yeah, I don't know, it's kind of neat. A day in the life, okay. Am I killing these guys for you? Is that what we're doing here?
Get your grubby paws off my bike! You think we're playing around? This is a stupid event. But they lost their damn minds. Thanks, boss. That ought to teach him.
Yeah, it'll teach them all these kind of lessons.
That's over. You okay?
I'm sure they learned a lot about life and living and responsibilities.
No good fucking deadbeats. Now we almost got used to that. But to pull a knife on one of their own? Anyway.
Yeah, they were definitely throwing a knife at me, and I acted in self-defense. Totally, that's what happened.
Thing, boss. Thanks.
You're welcome. Can I ride this motorbike? I think it's got a malfunction, but I'm not here to judge. A level up again? What you got in stock? Legendary crafting components? Ooh, I'm gonna have to remember you. Because I'm pretty sure I need crafting components, like legendary, for like an achievement. I actually am pretty sure I need that. So I'm going to have to remember this spot. Huh. You never know what kind of helpful things or places you're going to come across while you're doing videos and stuff, that is for sure. I mean, we got derailed, but you're still seeing how it looks and everything like that. It's better now. It's good on Series S. Give it a look. Give it a whirl. If you haven't played it before, you are in for a very, very pleasant surprise and a good time.
Listen up. Got a corpo in dire need. Our boy, he got sick. Ended up in a wheelchair. Now he's reaching for his boss's fat wallet. Now that I can get down with. But what do you say?